Now that we have a nice microphone, we'll do some ASMR. Hi, welcome to Gulpinash. In today's episode, we're going to talk about Fru Fru berries. Hello, welcome to Gulpinash. This is episode 73. My name is Alex.
I'm Emmy, and Dad's ASMR sucks.
I think my ASMR is awesome. So you might, if you are a loyal fan, know that our last episode was screwed up audio-wise. But this episode will be our best audio ever. I don't know what picking up the microphone in the middle of recording does to it, but now we can do ASMR too.
He spent 25 minutes setting that up.
I didn't spend 25 minutes. That was called hyperbole.
Well, you were sat there for a good, 5.
Well, I had to figure out how to plug the arm in, or plug it in, but hook it up, make it...
Good Englishing.
Today, we are drinking, which has already been all over Emerson's mouth, Dublin Fru Fru berry soda. What's a Fru Fru berry? I don't know. I didn't look that up. Dublin has an interesting history that is interlaced with a soda pop you have definitely heard of, Dr. Pepper. Dublin Bottling Company was one of the original distributors and bottlers of Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper debuted in Waco, Texas in 1885, and in Dublin, Texas, the Dublin plant began producing Dr. Pepper in 1891. So, long time ago. And they were one of the oldest that were still bottling Dr. Pepper up until the 2012.
Oh, so they were still
Up
bottling
until...
when I was alive.
Yes.
I was born in 2008.
One of the last GMs of Dublin's bottling company was W.P. Closter, or just Bill Closter, who started working at the Dublin plant when he was 14 years old, and he worked his way up to production manager and then the general manager after a stint in World War II, serving in World War II. He came back and became the general manager, and he was the general manager until the very last day of his life. It said that he worked 12 hours and then went home and died that day. He worked until he died. Yeah. And he was kind of obsessed with Dr. Pepper as a result. I mean, his entire life was working for a Dr. Pepper distributor since he was 14 years old. And he collected memorabilia of Dr. Pepper and all that. But he was the general manager of the Dublin plant when the Dr. Pepper brand switched to corn syrup. Now, you know corn syrup is in a vast majority of soda pop. And I don't know exactly, I didn't look up exactly when they made the switch, but Bill Closter refused. He said, we want to keep it as pure sugar cane. And Dr. Pepper allowed it. And so for decades, they were the only place in the country where you could get what they called Dublin Dr. Pepper, which was a sugarcane version of Dr. Pepper. Well, eventually, around 2012, or probably a little bit before that, the Dr. Pepper company which is Dr. Pepper Snapple. They own all that. Started taking offense to how prominently advertised Dublin Dr. Pepper was, and said that they were diluting the brand name. And just so happens at the same time, they wanted to release a pure sugarcane version of Dr. Pepper, just like Mountain Dew Throwback or Pepsi Throwback or Coke did one. Can't remember what it was called. But anyway, so they told Dublin, knock it off, and there was a big lawsuit and battle back and forth, and Dublin Bottling Company said, we won't bottle Dr. Pepper anymore, and they lost it. And this is a huge blow to the community, because this is like, you know, where that town grew up around, and it's a very small town, and just like the Dublin Dr. Pepper brand, although not brand, drew people in because they were like, oh, you know, the Dublin Dr. Pepper is so much better than regular Dr. Pepper. People would drive, and they had a museum to showcase Dr. Pepper memorabilia, and they would drive to it. So it was a huge blow. And Dublin makes other sodas, as we are, you know, going to sample. But Dr. Pepper and their variation of it was their big thing. So afterwards, after 2012, when they lost it, they kind of sneakily continued it. They didn't know how to continue making sodas without some variation of Dr. Pepper. It was what they knew how to do. It was so vehemently part of their brand that they started making what they called Dublin Original.
So Dr. Pepper under a different name.
Yeah.
Without corn syrup.
It was it was basically Dr. Pepper. It was a black cherry flavor that they boasted had 24 flavors in it instead of Dr. Pepper's 23 flavors. They would even print on the label DDP, in other words, Dublin Dr. Pepper. So it was very tongue-in-cheek, very under the radar. It said Dublin Original Black Cherry, but everybody in the area kind of knew what it really was.
That is like the definition of pettiness.
Yeah, I mean...
Like...
To be fair, I think Dr. Pepper was also...
pretty petty.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, this is part of your history, too. This plant has been with you since 1891, but you're going to throw a fit because they have a variation of your pop that's
selling well.
Yeah.
And making you more money.
I mean, essentially, yes.
How horrible.
But anyway, it's a little underhanded, and so was Dublin Original. So they ran Dublin Original for a while until 2016, 2017, late 2016, early 2017. There was a article published, and it got a little bit too much attention to the fact that Dublin Original was basically Dr. Pepper. And so, the Dr. Pepper Snapple Company called them up, and they're like, hey, we had a conversation, right? You're not supposed to be bottling any Dr. Pepper, right?
We aren't.
And they said, yeah, we totally aren't. And then, motioned in the back, get rid of it! Take it away! So yeah, they got rid of Dublin Original next. So, Dublin's history is sort of steeped and interlaced with Dr. Pepper so much.
Sort of?
that you kind of have to talk about the Dr. Pepper side of their history. Despite the fact that we're not doing the history of Dr. Pepper, this is the history of the Dublin Bottling Company, which was known for Dr. Pepper since 1891. However, they do have other flavors, like the Fru Fru berry that we are going to be drinking, as well as several more normal, generic-y type craft soda flavors, like orange, like vanilla cream, like grape soda, stuff like that. So that's what we're trying today. Now, Fru Fru berry, you want to venture a guess at what the heck Fru Fru berry is?
That.
That looks like a raspberry to me.
It probably is a raspberry.
Yeah, I don't think Fru Fru berry is a real thing, is it? You Google Fru Fru berry, and the first thing that comes up is Dublin Fru Fru berries. So, okay, let's sample Fru Fru berry, shall we? Want the first? Not Dr. Pepper, but how will it stand up
Oh, it smells like raspberry.
amongst Fru Fru berry drinks?
Yeah, that's raspberry.
Let's take
That's a hard raspberry.
ASMR sample of Fru Fru berry. Definitely tastes like raspberry. Incredibly sweet.
I'm guessing they just needed a unique name and thought, hey, all of these fake artificial flavors with fake things that don't really exist seem to be doing well. Let's create this thing. What's a popular pet name? Oh, Fru Fru. Fru Fru berry. Let's make it some raspberry.
God,
People will
it's
never know.
it was so close to Roverberry or Fidoberry, but I'm glad they went with Fru Fru, because Fidoberry, I don't think it would have tasted the same.
Nah.
No. Incredibly sweet, incredibly raspberry flavor, very
Mine.
very sweet candy-like soda, if that's your type of thing. I think it's pretty good. That was Dublin, the history that was not Dr. Pepper, but wanted to be.
I'm busy staring into the viewers' souls.
Murder.
You suck at being creepy.
Murder. Red rum. Now they have to reverse it.
No, they don't.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make me say murder if they reversed the audio, because I'm saying the E differently. Because I'm saying rad instead of murder.
Murdrum.
Yeah, you'd have to say
Murdrum.
or something. I don't know.
That would equal dumb-murd.
Dumb. No, but I'm saying the murder, the U wrong too. Doom. Doom.
Murdum.
Reverse that. Somebody take that
Somebody
video,
reverse
that. And see if it sounds like me saying murder. That's your project for this week. Next week, maybe we'll have our snack crate in and we'll be able to explore Germany. And for the love of God, stop chugging that. Hit up the D box below.
Hey, Dad.
Yes?
Lean your head back and open your mouth.
No, thank you. For a link to our Discord and our email, if you would like to talk to us, that is the place to do it. Those are the places. Those are the places to do it. There's also a link to our merch, our Patreon, and our Streamlabs if you want to kick us a little funds. See you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Hope you survive the apocalypse.
You know, I heard her where the younger kids were watching YouTube, just being super, super pessimistic and criticizing everything in their YouTube video. Like, that's a waste of glitter. That glitter is going to get dumped into the trash and then end up in a landfill, which will destroy the earth. And I thought, when I heard that, she's ready to record. She's ready to record.
I was also talking about how other things are bad for the earth, like cars, and that's why people had invented electric cars, and how this person was stupid for purposely pouring extra glitter.
Yeah. Yep. That's the stuff I heard.
And how there was a lot better things to use in glitter, like paint that's specifically made to be shiny. Like, just use that paint. You don't need glitter. It's bad for the earth. You're a bad person.
Calm down, Greta Thunberg.
No!